We must prepare our black boys with skills to survive and thrive. We must also change systems and institutions such that our black boys are no longer pushed down, but instead are propelled forward.
You would imagine that kids go to school and should have a positive experience, but as we know, that is not always the case for black and brown kids, and particularly for black boys. We see that their rates of suspensions and expulsions from schools are higher than other groups, in large part because of behavioral challenges that oftentimes we believe in our work, we found tends to be misinterpreted.
Philadelphia, we'll bring groups of young men together, and girls too, and we ask them questions just to see how deep they've ingested it, right? And it's like, hey, what percentage of black boys actually, or black men, have sold drugs? The numbers that they spit back to us is unbelievable. But it is what society says. And they say most, they say 60%, 50%. The number's actually around 7%. 7%. But the reaction and the response, whether it's law enforcement or how even these young men view themselves in their communities, is informed by how people, talk about them.
When I became aware of what's happening, what's really happening with our country and the way systems are set up and how things are designed almost against me. When I came to recognize that was probably my mid-20s. I'm 31 now, so maybe 6 years ago. And so I started thinking about if I knew this stuff early on, how long would I have been in this fight, right? And so when we talk about trying to push for change, the longer you have people involved, and the sooner that they know how systems work, the sooner they know, who to put pressure on, who not to put pressure on, and how to actually, change systems and organize. I think the more effective we become, because I think right now we're in a scramble to educate the public, and a lot of times even us in communities of color, we don't necessarily know what we're up against.
So social justice, the umbrella for education justice, health justice, environmental justice, racial justice, housing justice. It's not just, we're going to push this one thing, but what are the things that are creating barriers and obstacles for individuals? That's an injustice, and those are the justices that we need to focus on and incubate.